today we're going to be doing photo scanning, which is actually really exciting. You find an object outside, you take some pictures, and then you can bring the object inside onto your computer as a 3D model, which I just love. And it's completely free, so you don't need like any expensive software or anything. All you need is a smartphone and a desktop PC, and you're good to go. And before we start with this video, I want to thank my community and all my subscribers. I just hit the 100 subscriber mark, which was really exciting, and I want to thank everyone. So thank you, and let's get on with this video, and I hope you enjoy it. So I'll start by going outside, and I'll show you how to take the pictures, what objects you should take pictures of, and what objects you should not take pictures of, because sometimes it does not work. And there's some special ways that you have to take the pictures, so that will actually photo scan, and I'll show you exactly how. Okay, so I'm finding a good thing to photo scan right now. I'm in the woods. Sorry for all the background noise. There's a train over there, and it's really noisy. So here are the basics of things that would be good to photo scan and things that would not. So these leaves on the ground here might photo scan pretty well, but you shouldn't expect too much detail. You should not expect to get each leaf individually, and it should not look very good. So things like tree trunks are actually really great. I mean, and you can just go around them taking pictures. So there are a lot of things that you can choose. Gravel, in my experience, tends to work pretty well. Things like this, plants will not photo scan very well because they have so much detail. Also, do not photo scan moving objects like water, for instance, because that, like anything reflective will really mess up Meshroom's idea of what we are going to, of the geometry, might say. So, I mean, so you can, just find something that you think would be pretty good. Just try to make a solid object. Trees do not work well. Tree trunks do, but just like, do not expect much detail. So, the train's brakes are hissing. That's horrible. So, something like this could actually be perfect. This little cove here would actually be really great to photo scan. This is going to be kind of hard to get an angle. I might stand on this rock in the water for part of it and then jump to land. Okay, so open the camera app on your phone. Make sure it's in manual mode. Sometimes it's also called pro mode. Make sure that the shutter speed is manual, the exposure is manual, and the white balance is manual. Or else it will make your photo scan look really weird with a whole bunch of randomly colored stuff. So now hold down the shutter button on your phone, and it should start taking a burst of pictures. Move around slowly. Do not make it go too fast, or else you'll get motion blur and it will ruin your photo scan. So just go around getting your entire object from a whole bunch of angles. I like to take at least 20 photos, if not, and go up to 100, especially on bigger ones like this. You can take multiple bursts for one subject if you need to. Try not to get body parts like feet and arms. Definitely do not put your finger over the camera. Try to get an overall large shot too. And I think I just went a bit too fast there. Depends on your shutter speed, but it's pretty easy to go too fast. So that was 82 photos right there, which might not be enough, but we can see how it works, because if this works, it's going to be a really cool asset that I can put in any project. Okay, so I went home and I connected my phone to my computer via a USB cable. Then I set my phone's USB mode to file transfer, so it could actually transfer the files. Okay, so I'll start showing you how to get your files into Meshroom, download Meshroom, transfer your files to your computer, everything. The rest of the tutorial is going to be about doing stuff on your computer, so get ready for photo scanning, because it's going to be fun. Short name, and just type in lsvision.org. That's That is the website that that makes Meshroom, and you can download it for free here. So then you can go to the Meshroom tab and you can do download. So I'm using Windows, so I'll just download this. So go ahead and use the installer process and just get it installed. There's nothing special that you have to worry about. I mean, just use a wizard, double click here on the link after you download it, and then you can just install it. You can search for Meshroom and just open it. Sometimes it takes longer to load than others. So this is your workspace that you'll be using a lot once you have your images and making 3D models from them. And I'll show you exactly how to import your images, Photoscan, and export, because it's actually pretty simple and straightforward from here. Okay, so once you select all of the images you want, you need to drag them to somewhere else on your computer. So you need to get them off of your phone and onto your computer, unless Meshroom will not work and it'll get angry, and it will not actually let you drag them in. So I'm gonna copy all these, then I'll make a quick folder in my downloads because I store everything in my downloads. So I'll just call it Photoscan 1, just so I have somewhere to put. I'll go in here and press Ctrl V to paste down here. This might take some time depending on how many photos you have, but USB is actually pretty quick, which is kind of amazing for 4 wires. Well, actually only 2 of them are data, and 1 of them is transferring it. Wow, yeah, so that's pretty fast for. So now you can drag them here. So this might take a second. Like I said, you're gonna want to use a good computer. Not a PC, like just a laptop will work, but it might not be desired results. So these are my dad's legs here, so this could be somewhat a problem. I'm not sure how necessary that part of the image is, so I'll just delete these. So just press delete, 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 delete. And all of those. Now they're gone. So I don't have to about that again. I'm gonna just check for really blurry photos because one of them can really mess up your entire photo scan. But since I was going slowly when making this shot, they actually all turned out pretty darn well. So I'm gonna leave. There's no base workflow in here, which is really cool, but I'm gonna leave. I'm not gonna change any settings right now because I don't need to, and the default settings are actually pretty good. So I'll just hit start and make sure you save it somewhere. Probably in your folder. I might just go and just like jump game, and now I might start this. You should expect to take at least half an hour with 81 photos, if not more like an hour. So while Meshroom is doing its stuff, I'll give you a quick overview of the note. So camera init inits the camera, feature extraction extracts the feature, image matching matches the image, feature matching matches the features, structure from motion creates a structure from the motion, the prepare dense scene makes a dense scene, the depth map makes a map of the depth map filter filters the depth map, the meshing meshes it, the mesh filtering filters the mesh, and the texturing textures it. Thank you. I hope that was very helpful. Okay, so it just finished. I can tell by the fact that the green line is all the way through, so it's done everything. So you can just pan and navigate by clicking your left mouse button. You can hold down your middle mouse button to pan and use your scroll wheel to zoom. And you can see right here, we have a huge point cloud with a ton of points. You can turn down the display size, and you can actually kind of see that you have kind of your shape of the 3D model. But you can also see it's just a whole bunch of tiny points, and all of these things are cameras. So it's like the places where we put our camera so we can see the circular path that I made when I'm moving the camera around. So I'm gonna just turn I'm gonna hide the structure from motion, and I want to see the textured final mesh. So I'm just gonna double click on this, and it could take up to a minute to just show. I'm not sure exactly why, but so a little thing texturing pops up there, and now we can see we actually have a decent mesh. Okay, so now we are in Blender, and we can now import our Photoscans from Meshroom into Blender. So that will be pretty quick and easy, and then we will clean up the Photoscans and decimate them so that they'll be easier on our computer in the final render. Let's go ahead and delete the cube like we always do, and go to import, and then wavefront, that's OBJ, so that's the format it saves it. So we're gonna go down to the folder where we had stuff, sort by date because that's how I find it, and then I'll go to the folder where I saved my Meshroom file. Then I'll go to the Meshroom cache, go to the texturing, and here are our final meshes with the textures. So we can just import it and wait a moment because this is actually a pretty big file for it to import. So let's go ahead, you can see it's kind of upside down, so let's just orient it. I see RX. If it rotates weirdly, you gotta set the origin to the geometry. Which might take unusually long because this mesh has so many darn polygons. And do not try to get rid of this stuff yet. We'll do that in a bit after we've decimated it somewhat. So it's still kind of a weird orientation. So that's closer to the way it was originally. Just for a moment, I might turn on ambient occlusion. And now I have a beautiful model right here. But there are two problems. It has these weird things on the sides, and the amount of polygons is just killing. I mean, that's a bet. That's 2 million polygons right there. And it's kind of a lot for your computer to handle. You could go ahead and shade smooth if you want it to look better. I mean, if you're gonna be doing a film of ants dancing around on the beach, this is you probably want to keep it at this resolution or even make a better resolution. But for a lot of scenes, if you're just gonna have this kind of in the background, you do not want this level of detail. It'll just bog down your computer in a hurry. So like I said, if you're using this as a very small set, sure, go ahead, because don't do anything else to it. But right now, I don't want it this high poly, and you probably don't either, unless you're doing a film of ants dancing around on the beach. So we can decimate it, and what that means is we're gonna be removing some of the polygons that are unnecessary. So let's just go ahead and add a decimate modifier. Blender and your computer is not going to like this. I just am going to go ahead and do a 0.1 right off the bat, and your computer might stop responding for a while, which is to be expected because it's dealing with millions of polygons, 2 million polygons, and on one piece of mesh, that is kind of insane. I'm going to aim for more like 20,000 or less, which is still a lot, but definitely at least less than 100,000. 2 million is just insane. So look, I'm actually at 232,000, and I have not noticed a difference in the way it looks. Maybe there's a little bit less detail, but like I said, if you're not doing a film of ants on the beach, it's not a problem. Just apply the modifier, which will actually change the mesh, so this might take a little while too. Don't worry. If Blender stops responding, don't kill it, or else, you're gonna have to do this no matter what. Unless you want to film of ants on the beach. Yeah, but even the film of ants on the beach would take a while to render with this many polygons. And then add trees and ants, and then it'll be over the top. And look, that's like still insane, but much better. Let's add one more decimate modifier. Make this one 0.4. Still not a huge difference. You can apply modifiers until you get the level of detail you want. Like, this definitely would not be enough for some people. But, and for some scenes. That's what I mean. But it's actually perfect for this. Okay, so let's also just add a smooth modifier. That just makes things look a bit more convincing. Just don't keep the factor at 0.5 or else it'll look pretty terrible. And if you're going to do anything, I'll just change the iterations. Well, that much looks good. Then apply. So Blender is running a lot better now. And you can see a huge, I mean, there's still a ton of polygons, but nowhere near the amount that they were before. That was just insane. So you can tab into edit mode, and it should not lag this time. And then you can use the little select circle, and just find all the geometry you don't want and select it. You can shift select things to make for additive selection. Just I hold down shift and I'll select multiple things. Face select tends to be the most reliable for this, I guess. And I do it until there aren't that many really weird edges. But these could sure stand to be deleted. It also depends on the kind of scene that you're going to try to put this in. Oh, that's huge. These gaps are annoying. Let me just picture. Oh yeah, I accidentally deleted those even though those are good faces. So you have to be careful not to delete things that you want. Remember, by default, Blender only has 32 Control-Z moves that you can do. I've kept that in mind. And there, that's actually pretty decent, I'd say. Still some junk right there. Go ahead and delete that too. Now we actually have our finished mesh, and it looks awesome. You can relight it, and it's a lot cheaper than buying studio lights, by all means. And I mean, it's a very it's a very cool way to do things without breaking the bank. All you need is a phone and a decent computer, completely free software, and then you can professionally relight your images and make little films and stuff like that for free. It's awesome for making sets so you don't feel like doing all the work.